Hello, welcome back to Monster Train. I am still not your host. That guy's still on vacation. How you doing? How's it going? Hope you're doing well whenever you're watching. I'm not doing too bad. 3:14 a.m. right now, August 20th. It's like this is a classic question in my mind of, and I think I have asked this question before on YouTube, but it's 3:14 a.m. and it's August 20th. However, in my mind, it is August 19th because I have not gone to bed yet. I live on a pretty robust schedule. I do not go many days without sleeping, as we have discussed in the last few episodes. So I can punctuate my days in that way. It's I would say it's late night uh when Thursday, late night Thursday, but some people may say it's very early morning Friday. Either way, it is late or early depending on your perspective, and I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Hope you're doing well as well. Was reading through the old comments just before this, trying to get back into the swing of actually responding to your comments. I do, in case I haven't mentioned it lately, I do feel like I don't do a great job of keeping up and interacting with everyone in the comments. You guys all answer my questions and you boost the engagement, and I don't even take the time to respond to all your answers. What's wrong with this guy? I kind of respond to him in this way though, mostly a few people said yeah, skydiving's cool, and a few people said yeah, I would never go skydiving, and I can see both sides. I feel like at some point in my life I could go skydiving, but you know what the biggest fear I have is, actually, now that I think about it? I wear glasses. If you don't know, how do they not just fly off? Maybe you take them off, but then what's the point? I won't be able to see anything. I mean, I can see like a little bit, but like yeah, that's an interesting question. I never thought of that. Maybe they have goggles for it. Probably they have goggles for it. Yeah, you probably don't want to be falling thousands of feet with no eye protection, because, like, what if a bug flies into your eye? Huh. Well, mystery solved, most likely. Anyway, for today's question, this is a bit of a weird question. I kind of like asking these fringe questions, though, because one of you may have a, oh shit, this is my moment, I have a story for this sort of question. So I just came in from letting the dogs out, and it's very foggy. And I was wondering if you've ever had any sort of meaningful experience or noteworthy moment in your life that involves fog. I haven't, other than just waking up one morning, going to drive to school at 11 a.m. and it's like, yo, why is there so much fog at 11 a.m. and also so much sun? It was a really cool like look to the world where the fog was all lit up, but it was still there. But I think it looks neat, and it's relatively uncommon here. So I always like to see it. It's one of those weather patterns that I think is pretty neat. And so I figured I'd ask, because, that's what I've done recently. Also, in last episode we fell, and it's time to get back up. The last big streak did end, or did begin with a Primordium loss into Fade win, and then end, somewhere else along the line. We'll see how this one starts. Not bad. But yeah, that's what I didn't start up the run first. That felt weird. That was a difference in the flow. Well, anyway, let's begin, shall we? I think so. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Today we're Exile Melting, Default Wurmkin, Pushback Talos, Darkness Arcus, Patient Seraph, Hollow Drippings, Hosting, and Wicked Blaze. I played 2 in a row on Spike's Fade, so I want to play a different one. This is a great lineup for Firelight Fade. Firebox is fine. Rationing scales might be cool, but the problem with rationing scales I see is if I take rationing scales in this position, all it really does is turn any plus 20 HP into plus 60 gold, which feels not very interesting to me. Well, I guess I will not be playing Hollow Drippings Firelight strats. Maybe we can play Eternal Flame. I never really play Eternal Flame, so I think it is strong. I just think it's kind of, how do I put it? Eternal Flame is not bad. Obviously, it's weird. I still have to play. I still have to play the game. Yeah, that is kind of how I feel about it, really. Not not entirely right, but like, you get the idea. Oh man. Let me look at this turn for a sec here. I think I'm going to fracture this 5-1 and then throw Fade at the problem. It's also weird because this Fade does negate Primitive Mold on the whole. Not really bad, just strange. Put a Primitive Mold up here. Kind of want to Hostingkin this damage shield away, but it's awkward, right? This is one of the positions where the pushback is bad. Because Fade's gonna waste her hit on the next turn. But no matter what, Fade wastes her hit, basically. I don't see, outside of drawing the other Hostingkin, right? But I don't think that actually matters here. So let's do... You can't Hostingkin anything interesting. Let's do the Hostingkin like this. Clear the damage shield, it's probably okay. It's definitely a strange position to find ourselves in, where the quick ends up being a detriment again. Same problem we had the other day. Huh. I'm gonna do this line here. The idea behind playing Fade and Train Steward is that I might kill the boss before this enemy gets to walk up and do like 6 to me. Indeed I do. There you have it. And then this enemy doesn't matter. Cool, cool. We took 6, not a big deal. Weird combat. The damage shield plus the quick. Very strange. Can't ping it off. Interesting position. Molten Encasement makes a lot of sense. Good survivability option. Patient Seraph. Proclamation with Infusion is fine. It's pretty good. 1 Echo, deal 50. Yeah, why not? Oh right, I would prefer to not play a Consume strategy. I would like to play a Reform Egg strategy, actually. You want to show me Bogfly? In Host Vessel? So, if I want to play... I have not had the chance. The game has not given me the chance to play a cool guy Keeper of Echoes run. It's to the point where I'm starting to wonder if Keeper of Echoes might not be that good, but I don't believe it. I'm gonna play Keeper of Echoes. Here's the deal. Reform, Egg Strategy, Kin Host Vessel, Multi-Strike, sure, whatever. That's not all that exciting. But once you get enough Echoes, you just start pumping out Kin Host Pupas nonstop, whatever. I want to play Keeper of Echoes. I'm still on the fence about this guy. Now here's the real question. What's the second upgrade? This is the big question mark that you have to pose on this run. What is upgrade number 2 on our young man here? It's like, health doesn't matter. Health probably is what I want to take, go to 45 base. I'm gonna take health. It's like, plus 10 doesn't do enough. And second multi-strike, large stone, quick, endless, not really all that interesting. Second multi-strike is okay, but not all that cool. I'll probably look Remnant Banner. The other big thing is plus 25 is good enough, I feel. And it lets me not need to see another steel shop for the rest of the run. And if we learned anything from last run, it's that sometimes you go a lot of steel shops without finding what you desire. I actually don't like plus 30. I'd prefer plus 10 piercing onto Proclamation. It's an interesting question of plus 30 versus plus 10 piercing. I believe that for what Proclamation is going to do, 200 damage is usually, since it's targeted at the front enemy, the 200 damage is usually going to bounce off and be wasted. Yeah, something like this. I want to let one of these 1/1... I want to let the haste walk up so that I can potentially put Reap on it and kill it without having to waste Keeper of Echoes health. And indeed, that is what happens. Pretty cool. But yeah, I think the 100 damage piercing is better because typically you are using it, on the Divinity at least, the 100 damage piercing goes through the armor and spell shield. Sorry, the sentence is... I'm struggling to find the words here. I don't know why. Let me... Deep breaths. So the 100 damage piercing just kind of does the same. This deck doesn't have many pings, so there's not a real good reason to... He only hits once. Fade does... Hold on, let me do some calculating here, one sec. Fade does... There's actually no calculating, dude. Boss is dead. One hits one. Never mind. I mean, basically, the idea that I've been struggling to find the words for here is Extreme Stone usually gets eaten by a spell shield, so you need to have pings, and this deck has no pings as 2 Hostingkins. So, Proclamation can hit the enemies, and usually just pierce through armor and kill a tank on the Divinity. That's what I've been trying to say, but can't find the words for some reason. You know what's weird here? I think it might be right to pick Draft and then infuse Molten Encasement onto it. I know what you're thinking, but that's infused. Draft is infused. It's 1 space, it's 1 energy, it has Burnout 1. Molten Encasement, I want to play every turn, does not have Burnout 1. Put Endless on Draft, boom, we have this Molten Encasement settled. It's weird. But I'm gonna do it. Yeah, Infused Echo Infusion, great card. Very good. I'm gonna go left here. I want to look for a melting unit that I will be happy to put on Keeper of Echoes. Actually, while thinking about it a little further, I don't think there is one. However, I still want to go left because I don't have the money to reroll the Steel Shot. There's a chance that the upgrade is also just too expensive to begin with. So if I go left, we can go... an artifact. Winged Indulgence. Sure. I mean, these guys were on my mind when thinking about a potential infusion for Keeper of Echoes, but I don't know. Harvest? I do have a Die of Return unit on the plan. Harvest +2/+2 is not bad, but is Harvest +2/+2 worth more than Inspire +1/+1? I think not. And my reasoning is I'm going to be sniping enemies with Fade, with Hostingkin, I'm going to be pinging things off. A lot of the Harvest don't make it up there. So I don't feel like it's right to go for Harvest Infusion. That's going to be a thought there. I will take Dawn Echo for sure. Other relics in there. I really don't like Infused Hammer. I've never liked Infused Hammer. I still don't like Infused Hammer. I never will like Infused Hammer. Get over it. Gift of Gratitude and then draw at turn 1 and we're rich. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna hit. That's the plan. Easy strategy, just hit. I'll give it like 2 combats because I don't need money right now. Pull it turn 1, Firebox pays for itself here. Too bad. Who is this? This is Pushback. Okay. Good to know. So, big play. Keeper of Echoes, Train Steward. No, Fracture? Upon looking at this further, I should just leave a Train Steward on the floor with the Keeper of Echoes to eat the 1/1. Forgot it's an aura effect, but that's alright. I will put the next Train Steward on the floor with the boy. Drop also gives me something for Primitive Mold to hit, which is nice. Not too bad. Oh, and Wicked Blaze, actually. Train Steward. Give me the draft back. 26 times 2. Strange number. 9 times 2. Not too good, but that's okay. I do need this draft alive, I feel. And just killing. And in this combat, since it's not sweep, Tethys, I almost called Little Fade Tethys. I would like to formally apologize to Little Fade here. Order, by the way. Now, Little Fade, because it's not sweep, can sit behind our beef lord on the top floor and farm. And that can be a strategy. I could also keep draft. You know what? I should keep draft. Why not? What's stopping you? Could have kept Train Steward too and just let him tank for a few rounds. I think that's bad though. I don't think there's a good reason to do that. He'll tank 2 rounds. I'll lose out on the stealth potentially, but that's fine. We're chilling in this combat now. We are fine. Primitive Mold has taken a combat that I was kind of 50-50 on, and it has made it much cleaner. Thank you, Primitive Mold. Very cool. All I had to do was draft. The draft is actually really good here. I don't know why I would be a doubter of draft. I don't know why I would think maybe draft won't be good here. Draft's always good here. So does this set me up to kill? Not quite, but pretty close. Boss doesn't even make it to top floor because Fade's doing like 100 damage. Sorry, 95 damage only. Get her ass. And boss doesn't even make it to my floor. And the draft did a great job. Thanks, draft. Ideally, here we see Keeper of Echoes. Eternal Kinstone is 2 echoes for the price of 1. Great card. Kinhost Carapace on the draft? No, I'm not doing that. Although, no, I'm not doing that. Nah. That essence is garbage. Lady of the Reformed is not useful here. That is a shame. This deck, I will take draw +1 and then... Actually, I think I want to take... So, follow me here. Come with me in this mental journey. I'm thinking I might want to play 3 Keeper of Echoes instead of 2. So let's take a little peek. I think I could play 3 Keeper of Echoes. Duplicate Self-Infuse here. Duplicate here. Duplicate here. I could play 3 Keeper of Echoes. To reasonably play 3 Keeper of Echoes, I do want to take double space. Let me take 1 space now and see how it feels. And then maybe I take a 2nd space. Although it's weird because this first space... I don't think I need to take... Hang on, did I... So if I take a 3rd one, I want to take 1 more space so that I can put Fade or Molten Encasement on the floor, right? That's the idea. Maybe that space take is wrong. I'm not sure. Either way, we go right, we duplicate, we self-infuse. It's fine, it's fine. And be 1 step ahead on the duplications, and then the space would make sense if I got the Keeper of Echoes at the previous banner. However, here we are. We're gonna be a little weaker in combat 4-5. Oh yeah, and we're 50 shards. That's a little frightening. We are a little Fade though, so it's probably okay. Could pivot to Firelight. Firelight would not be bad there. Also. But. Let's hit the road. Light Harnessers is probably our better fight. I'm not going to take Multi-Strike. I'm not confident enough to take Multi-Strike here. It's a slow start. This deck takes like 3 turns to really get settled in. I could drop myself bottom floor. I think that's a terrible idea considering this is a 5x2 with no benefit right now. But I could. Oh yeah, Fade does a lot in this fight. I did not really realize. And I'm going to not go for the money. Does that seem correct? That seems correct. Can't reap anything on the top floor though, which is a shame. Good Kinstone. Good Hosting Kin to just irrelevant the defender. Irrelevant it? Make it irrelevant. What the hell? Irrelevant the defender. It's not even 4 a.m. yet. I can't be talking like this. If I play Fade mid-4 every turn, I think we are chilling. I feel like I don't really need to tell you this, but if the game shows me Bog Slam, I would be ecstatic. Be absolutely excited. Where are you taking 5 from? Ah, the blowback, yeah. I even reaped thinking about it. This deck gets a lot better in like 3 combats, I think. Once we get the second keeper, I think it's basically done and dusted. Can put this whole run behind us. But it's an interesting one. I'm very on the fence about Young Keeper. I think he's good, but he's really slow, so your deck needs you need to have a lot of support for him. Maybe that's what we have here today. I did get the other hosting pin, I think. Reforming this Drap as a frontliner feels real weird. Not bad, just weird. We'll Stealth Fade too. Removals are also important. We are a Little Fade deck, so removing all of our cards so that it's just Little Fade is also a good line. Fracturing the Drafts, I can bring them back next turn for some chump blocking. Although, again, doing a lot of thinking for someone who's about to just absolutely cash in on the Porcupine. Interesting question. I'm going to answer with yes, I will Gift of Gratitude here. I think it is worth 120 and worth not sitting on any longer. It's one of 2 combats that's scary down. The most frightening thing we can see from this position is... what's his name? Sower of Sorrows, the sweep boss on the next combat. Everything else should be okay. Take Sacred Wicks. It's free, it's infused. Checks off all of what we want. These cards are free and infused, however, somehow they don't make the cut. I'll click Return Soul here. I don't find myself in many positions where Return Soul is bad. There are enough good relics to find that I will go for the double relic path, since there's no removals on this path, and I don't really care about any magic upgrades. Golden Bolt's pretty good. Oh, sorry, I have Tiger Need My Desk. That one really hurt. I am much closer to my desk than I anticipated. I gotta get better about that. I should roll the shot first. Oriska's okay. I have 2. Let me take a little look at this here artifact. Let's get another upgrade. I don't care about that at all. Plus 40 health is fine. Kriska's, it's like fine, right? I'll take it. I think it's good enough here. We're gonna remove a Train Steward. Stretch my leg out. Oh man, that one really hurt. All right. So 50, 60, 70. Take 10 here and then 15 from each of the temples, and we're at an even 100. I'm gonna go ahead and cut another Train Steward down. And that looks fine. I need this to be a good fight. It's terrible. I hate it. Oh, this is a really bad fight. Yeah, this is gonna be a real... It's not gonna be too bad. I think we have enough pings in to pick off all the sycophants, but this one's very scary. Second enemy is rather frightening, as I'm sure you're aware by now. I'm gonna do a little bit of an interesting play here and put Fade down, dodge the Ember Drain, and kill her with the Reap. Get ourselves an Echo on the Keeper of Echoes as well. An interesting play, but Fade's just gonna bounce off of this 11-10 anyway. It dies at the same timing, so why not? And I used Return Soul on things like Wicked Blaze while I can, and then when I can't do that anymore, I use it on other cards. Just like on infused cards. Uninfused first and then infused, basically. Okay, we're going to ping off. Proclamation here is strange. Start with a primitive wall on the top 4. That's always happening first. And Fade gets played mid-4 for sure. Now there's a few interesting ideas here that you can follow. Let's look at each of them individually. This Clip Defender threatens a pretty big chunk of damage to my Pyre, even if I Hostingkin it away. So proclamating it and then neutralizing this wave is not the worst call. However, it does leave us in this position where if I follow this line and I play Proclamation here, I am taking damage from Clip Guardian number 1. He's going to do quite a bit. I can most likely avoid that damage with, although no guarantee, but I can probably avoid that damage with Fracture Proclamation mid-floor. I think that is the better option, and then we put Fade down. Yeah, okay. This has to be right. We're going to take like 8 from the top 4. I don't have to care about that right now. Alright, what do you do to me? 7. I don't have time to care about that. We have the fire health for it, so it's not a big deal. Do pull Hostingkin. Great news. This is going to save us quite a bit of damage. A bit of an awkward thing, though, is I do have to put Fade top. I guess it's okay. Hostingkin here. Important to put Fade in front so she dies. Good. Again, have to put Fade up top. Where's my draft when I need my man? He's just leaving me? 128. I mean, she's gonna die to the sweep anyway, so I probably put her where she reduces damage the most, I feel. You can see why I would have reservations about Little Fade in this run, I feel like. You can see those reservations pretty easily. Not Lil Fade, sorry. Keeper of Echoes. Lil Fade is the reason that we're okay. Keeper of Echoes is 27 times 2 right now. My man is not doing very well. But soon, he's going to be doing great. That's the feeling. Soon, my man's going to take over the world. I trust. I think you have to have 2 of them. Took a lot of damage, but it's okay. We got the Precious Plating. I could kill Fade. She gets in 2 hits here. If I kill her, she comes back a little stronger. It's worth doing. A little strength might make a difference. Because she has to do a lot of the work here. Do I care about taking an Ember Drain to get an extra Echo? I think it's right. How we looking here? Not too bad, all things considered. We can give Fade an Echo Infusion here, and this boss is gonna die. Yeah. I was right to be worried about Sower of Sorrows. However, in a bizarre twist, I stumbled into the correct line, which was to put Fade down and then scale her attack like 4 or 5 times, and then just put her down and give her bonus health. Took 29 only. Not so bad. These infused cards are expensive. Mortal Entrapment doesn't really call to me, and Wicked Blaze, same thought. Our deck is low on energy. Ancient Resonance, Soul Cripple, same feelings. Ancient Resonance I feel a little bit better about because this card does a lot, actually. Yeah, I'll take Ancient Resonance. It's 2 energy, but I can give it cost downs, and it's okay. Get 15 from this Hell Vent, because I'm making another Keeper. Should have checked the event first, yeah, just in case it's a minor refraction. That's a shame. I should have checked the event first. There's no reason not to check the event first. But it doesn't actually make a big difference because this just means that I don't need to take space again. I was not going to take space again anyway, but now I can play a third of these young lords. I've been seeing Mini Stone a lot. Like to see it. Alright, let's kick it, shall we? Darkness Arcus? No Harvest, so this is Spell Shield Fell. Okay. I feel like I've said that line so many times. I've heard myself say that line so many times. Darkness Arcus, Spell Shield Fell. Upon thinking about it, it just felt correct once I said it. Like upon saying Spell Shield Fell, I went, oh yeah, I know what this is. I will return Soul. I think Fracture's a little worse than Primitive Mold. Primitive Mold's worse. Doesn't make a big difference though. Maybe this run needs energy. Probably not with Kariska, actually. If I hold that card over, it's a lot better too. Yeah, I think I played this in the right order. You can look at that again and go about that one for a while, but I think I played that right. Still slow scaling. I do believe this is draw, upon thinking about it a little further. Incant. I guess I don't have anything that it really affects anyway, so that's alright. You can play Fade top. She kills this reflector and then dies, taking the hit, right? Yeah, that's fine. Could do the same thing with Draft, I guess, but oh, and if I play Draft now, it's bad. I can't infuse anything up here now. Misplay alert. Kinda. It's alright. It's a weird position. We gotta go through the learning process somehow, right? Also, Draft just kills something in mid-floor. And to get rid of those Twin Stewards. All I need to do is take draw and remove cards from this deck, and we will now be cruising. Yeah, we need to not have draws that look like this, where it's dead weight, fade. Endless Fade, one downside that I have not really considered until this point is that she does take up one of your draws for the rest of the run. Assuming she is dying anyway. Now, she's a very worthy use of your draw, but something that I had not thought of. Is the preview showing me the right number, by the way? 47? 47? It is, okay. It's not on Kariska. It's actually missing the Kariska, I think. And the infusion happens before the unit enters the field. I feel like I've known that before, but just making another note of it in case I had forgotten. Not in case you've forgotten, in case I had forgotten. Which I had. I mean, they're getting there, right? They're 53 and 59 times 2, respectively. I don't think Keeper of Echoes is a solo carry, but maybe once we get everything ironed out, he's gonna make me feel a different way. I can just put Fade down up top, it's fine. Let her start raking in that value. Look, man, I really want to love Keeper of Echoes, okay? That's the real crux of it all. I want Keeper of Echoes to be cool because he feels cool. He does feel very cool. But I don't know. I keep taking these runs, and like, this run is good, we're gonna win. But would we have gotten there without Little Fade? I'm not so certain. Forgot about that endless Molten Encasement Draft idea, by the way. That completely left my mind after saying it the first time. Unearthed Remains is also 2 echoes here. And we're taking draw. Good shop lineup here. Health, Vortex. Finally, Train Stewards can all be gone. Money and Magic Shop. Very nice. Great setup. Take the 2 cost cards down to 1 cost here. Permafrost. Math and we'll redraw. Holdover. Holdover is interesting. Holdover Proclamation is pretty big value because it's +1 energy. So I'm effectively trading my draw that I just picked up once I draw Proclamation for 1 energy and 2 echoes per turn, plus 100 damage piercing. I think Proclamation is a worth pickup here as a holdover. It's effectively holding over Eternal Kinstone thanks to Karuska, but better because I get 100 damage and it gives me energy instead of costing me energy. That's actually kind of nutty the more that I think about it. It does seem extremely good. Maybe I'm not thinking about it correctly, like maybe because I'm thinking it's too good almost. Like it feels too good to be true. I suppose we'll see. Yeah, final ring, we're going to the Hellvent. I'm making a 3rd Keeper of Echoes and you can't stop me. Even just one of these good Wurmkin relics though feels like it makes such an astronomical... Astronomical? Is that the right way to use this? I don't know. Feels like it makes a big impact on the run. Let's say. Again, maybe I should play Fade top there, just like I did before. I can play Primitive Mold first. And then Proclamation. And it's fine. That is an acceptable situation. I'll take it. And then I am going to play Fade top 4, I believe. Yeah, now you can start to see these numbers shoot up quite quickly. I'm playing 1 card and I'm getting 3/3 on both of our boys, which is pretty good. It's not crazy, but it's pretty good. Now, do I want to play Fade? She will not die. Actually, she could die. I can play her, she kills the Ember Drain, and then I Fracture, and that's 10, right? Yeah. I kind of just stumbled into it. I didn't think that... If I thought that turn through, I would have landed on that play if I thought for long enough, but I didn't, but we still got there. Similar situation, but a little harder to ease our way into. I think I actually killed this enemy, just outright. Primitive Mold worse. Once I Ancient Resonance? Yeah, so I can get more value out of Fade, which is good. Happy to have it. Oh wait, Fade just robbed me of energy. What the hell? Okay, this is enough. I've looked at it long enough. It's enough effects. I'm going to go ahead and go to Super Ultra. I have seen these effects play out long enough. Super Ultra time. Proclamation, we can Molten Encasement here, and it's pretty good. I like playing my cards in this order. Not for any reason. There is a reason. The reason is because it's random and chaotic, and I like that. There is no real order to why I played those cards in that order. Also, 100 damage. There's a more correct illustration of what I was trying to say. Plus 10 piercing on Proclamation is enough to make Proclamation kill the frontline infused enemies, which is important enough to think about. And I think does tip the scales in its balance ever so slightly. These boys win this, right? I have given them enough resources, they W now. I put this down. 805 damage there. Pretty good. Yeah, they are strong enough. I shouldn't play cards on the boss like this, but it's too late. I wanted to take a little look. 131 times 2, 128 times 2, not bad. I'm worried about the first turns when we have to play them. Like, if we could draw 2 of them together on turn 1, that would be ideal. A much better unit to infuse my Molten Encasement on is Remnant Host, but I'm not interested in what you're selling here today, video game. Oh, Soul Siphon's pretty good. I take Ember Drain for it, but I bypass Ember Drain with the Karuska, and this can give me... Actually, it's not going to give me anything because I spend all my echoes. This is worthless now that I think about it. Yeah. Interesting. I'll press skip. You could take Revenge of the Danghold there. I don't think it makes much sense. Endless? Large stone. I mean, I'm not gonna infuse the what's it called? I'm not gonna infuse the draft with a molten encasement at this point in the run anyway. It's far too late for that. But I don't think I'm gonna endless stealth either because I do need Fade to have front lines. So interesting. Anyway, let us duplicate our one size Keeper of Echoes. Get him in here. Forever Flame would make this run a lot cleaner also. I'm not going to reroll the Steel Shop. I'm not taking anything from it. I don't want Endless. Forever Flame, please. Braided Mandibles is fun, but not all that interesting. Combustible Wax. This can be really good here if I have one of my keepers get sniped by Seraph. Combustible Wax is real good, but I'm just going to not have one of them get sniped, I think. Go ahead and cut Wicked Blaze because I'm that confident. Postingkin's worth holding on to. It's consumed, so I only have to draw it once. It's free, it's strong. I think I'm gonna cut out a primitive mold, and we'll call that a day. Alright. Patient Seraph is definitely the scariest part of this run, in my mind. I think that he can snipe one or even two of our Wormy boys. And the Wormy boys are strongest together. So, turn 1 double draw, very good. Thank you, Firebox. Very cool. If I play Fade to dodge the Ember Drain, she's going to live. However, I can use her to tank a melee weakness hit too here. It sets her behind by a turn, but I can use her to tank this melee weakness hit, and that's probably worth. Okay, I'm gonna follow through. Dodging Ember Drain is reasonably important here. It is not the end-all be-all, but it's important enough, I think. The main reason is to dodge Ember Drain, because it lets me get this Keeper of Echoes out. But she doesn't die, so actually there's no reasoning there. I am just an idiot. Alright, I'm gonna rally Seraph. We're gonna get our third Keeper down. We drew Proclamation, so there is no problem whatsoever here. Ah, she's quick, right. That checks out. Play the draft. I don't want to rally again, but I'll play the draft. Having draft for the chump in my primitive mold / Sacred Wicks is worth. That's 28, right? Yeah, we're chilling. Do not kill this 14-3. Dave gets to go hang out on her own. Very cool. Probably should have... Do not chump block this. And now they get, what, 4-4 every time? I think it's 4-4, right? Yeah, it's 4-4. So every one of them adds 1-1, and they start at 2-2, is what it is right now. Oh, yeah. I keep, like, stumbling accidentally into correct plays when I play Monster Train lately, which is fine. It's just a little strange. Like, it was correct to get Fade to stay alive there so that she could tank a melee weakness. Our biggest fear in this run is having a melee weakness turn line up and kill one of my Keeper of Echoes. That is what we're trying to avoid here. 103. I can make this number better, I'm confident. I do have to rally to make it better. I have to rally multiple times, right? I can play Fade. 2 hits. So Fade kills Gilded Wings, takes 2 hits of Shade Wings. Could have a 14 hit. How much is this guy's health? 34? Holy fuck. What did I do to that guy? I'm gonna put Fade here. I'm gonna rally Seraph a few times, and I think it's right. 61 only. Just trying to save health on Keeper of Echoes. If I'm wrong for disregarding Seraph here, we'll reset, but I think this is a correct play. Yeah. Proclamation 2, why not? Wurmkin. Fade goes and snipes a heavy. The only thing that's upsetting here is that it's awkward to get this Molten Encasement in play. I guess it's not that awkward. No, it is. Playing Molten Encasement onto the Keeper of Echoes is bad. Because it doesn't let the multi-strike, or the melee weakness go away. And then he's going to be stealth, so he won't take a hit from the next round. So he's just going to have 3 melee weakness going into Relentless instead of what I would prefer here, which is 0 melee weakness going into Relentless. We're doing quite a bit of damage. Once we get to 3 Keeper of Echoes on the floor, it's pretty over. Done and dusted. These boys scale pretty quickly when there's multiples. It feels like you have to get so many of them down, though. It seems like the consistent hard part to me. Go ahead and play a little Fade top floor. 315 I think is good enough. I'll let her start getting some HP. I can fracture the draft because he's gonna die from burnout before he's gonna die from HP loss anyway. Boom, Proclamation. That's what Extreme Stone would do the same thing, but if that guy gets Spell Shield from something, then the Extreme Stone does not do the same thing. And I feel a sneeze. Hold. Thank you for holding. And I'm going to not play more cards in the Patient Seraph, yes. We do have like 600 health there, so the front one dying wasn't really that big of a fear. But I wanted to keep my boy alive. Alright, I think the thing that scares on the Divinity is if we draw 2 worms turn 1, I think we're chilling. The mini bosses are what are the most frightening here. 1 worm turn 1. Again, use Fade to cheat the Ember Drain. That is the life. Fine. Cheating out Ember Drain is pretty good. If we draw both of them on this turn, it's pretty bad. Oh yeah, that's terrible news. Drawing both Keeper of Echoes on this turn is an extremely low roll, and pretty bad. I don't think it's quite run-ending levels bad, but it is upsetting, I would say. Put him behind. Makes no difference, I think, actually. 5 damage to all kills off the Clergyman, but the Clergymen aren't really that scary. I need to scale, and it's a lot harder since I missed a Keeper. What are we gonna do about this? I don't care about incanting them. I can play Fade. I need to put Fade in mid, I feel. Posting Kin here. Hope for the best. If one dies, we can always primitive mold it back, right? And maybe I should hold Hollow Drippings to potentially survive through that. But missing one of them has suddenly just tanked my outlook of this run. Just absolutely tanked the feelings I have for it. Do a Proclamation. I need to put Fade in front, and then we should be fine. Oh, we're not fine. I do drop a Keeper. I need a How does he die? Let's throw out some spells. Now, if I play another spell, Fade does not quick kill the Clipped Reflector. 19. So I need to make sure that what I'm doing is making sense, right? If I play another spell, Fade's at 18. This is 6, takes Fade to 10. 19 hits here, 38, and 8 is 46. 56 because of the Shaman. Okay, this Keeper of Echoes always dies. I think I actually lose off of this, which is crazy. It's such bad luck to kill me here. Dude, it's so unfortunate that I die here. So much went so wrong. Holy moly. I can maybe sneak out of this, though. Sit tight. Let's see if we can commit the old robbery, shall we? There's a few factors that go into our robbery plans here. The game's trying to rob me. It's time for me to commit my counter rob. So on this turn, we want to play all of the cards in our hand. That's correct. What's the order that is best? I think I want to play Fade Molten Encasement first. Wix, bring back the boy. Bring him down. Let him get in there. And then I can Fracture. I can Return Soul. I think I could Return Soul Ancient Resonance, but it actually doesn't change much. Because the Spikes enemy has one spell shield, this doesn't make a big difference. So let's do a Fracture. Proclamate there. Okay, I don't think I die from that at least. I think I live this. Yeah, not so bad. Another Harvest Wave, just absolutely terrible to see. Hate to see it. However, Keeper goes behind. We did redraw our important Keeper right away, which is good news. Redrew the second guy. Should remember to Primitive Mold first so I can get a little extra value out of the Keeper that we have in the burnout pile. How much health do you have? Yeah, holy fuck, just die. What am I looking at here? I'm looking at push this enemy to the back. I have the excess pyre health to spend, so I'm going to spend it. Whether you like it or not, we gotta spend our pyre health in this one. Oh, I have a Stealth Tomb to reform. It's kind of good that I reform that so I can keep Keeper of Echoes pure. Primitive Mold is such a bonkers card. Like, tell me you don't think Primitive Mold is nuts after what we're doing here. Card's so good. I had one of my units die, and I just get to keep him. He's just going to impact the run like he's not dead because of Primitive Mold, I guess. Hey, watch this. Oh no, my good friend Keeper of Echoes, he's dead. Oh wait, he's back, and he's 143 health, and he just tanks the wave for us. Thanks, buddy. And he puts his aura effect down. Wow. That's crazy. Like, how strong is Primitive Mold? My starter card just recovered an unsurvivable position. And by the way, the idea that I took here, which is panning out to recover as well, is I just put Fade at a point where she will one-shot any singular enemy and slapped her on the floor and let her scale her health bar up. And that is working out as well. Yeah, we recovered. It was a pretty doomed looking start there. This run and yesterday's run have one major difference in them that I can point out to you right now. This run and yesterday's run have a difference of about 100 HP going into the fight. In this run I was full health, so I was at 180 going into the Divinity, and in yesterday's run I was at 40 health. I think yesterday's run would have survived as well going into the Divinity, well not going into the Divinity, but going into Seraph, where it sadly perished. But I didn't have the health to live. Because we were really close to stabilizing yesterday's run. But yeah, Keeper of Echoes is tough, man. I think the unit is cool. Like, I really want to like him. But as a solo unit, I don't think it makes sense. I don't really feel like you're going to scale fast enough to play 2 Keeper of Echoes. Maybe with a better scaling infusion, but I think it has to play support for a different unit. 2 Keeper of Echoes and something else has to be your run. I'm not really sure, though. I'm still kind of back and forth on it. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to leave me a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.